Well, when it comes to jobs and markets, sometimes good news on the economy can be bad news as stocks, as we see initially playing out in the stock market on Friday. But by and large, the economic data is pointing to a still resilient jobs market. So for more in the wake of the non-farm payrolls report, I do want to bring in the chief economist at ZipRecruiter, Julia Pollack, with more. Julia, welcome.
Thank you, Kristen.
It's great to have you. And what are your takeaways from the latest jobs report?
Sure. So I think investors and the Fed were all hoping for a much softer report that would give a clear signal that now is the time to start cutting rates. We didn't get that in this report. It's a very mixed bag. And a lot of the data was hotter than expected, both the job gain number and the wage growth figure.
And what does that tell us about the stability of the market and the broader economy?
Well, I think there is tremendous concern about the financial risks in having interest rates this high. And everyone is hoping that the data all points us in a direction that'll make everyone's lives easier. Job seekers, home owners, consumers, businesses. It seems like instead we're going to have a situation where the Fed is going to have to make a tough call at some point.
Yeah. Looks like the market is still pricing in one rate cut in September, another in December, but obviously that's a very fluid situation based on the data, as the Fed chair has indicated. Let's run through some of the numbers. The May jobs report that we got out today showing 272,000 jobs added last month, an impressive number and an acceleration from April. And then on the wages front, those wages were up 4.1% from the same time a year ago, outpacing inflation. Is that the demand that you're seeing on your platform at ZipRecruiter?
So online job postings on ZipRecruiter have been steady all year, and they did actually tick upwards in May, so I was expecting the report to come in hotter than consensus. There are also a number of reasons why wage growth is still proving sticky. One is that when unemployment is at or below 4% for this long, many employers are confronting labor shortages and feel a lot of pressure to raise wages. It also took a long time for the public sector and for unionized workforces to see wage growth because it just takes much longer there. But now wage growth there has overtaken wage growth in the private sector, and you're seeing these huge contracts get signed that are putting upward pressure still on wages.
Where are you at ZipRecruiter, seeing the job gains, the growth in the market?
So, I mean, in this report, you see job gains pretty much everywhere. The diffusion index is very high. It's broad-based job growth. On ZipRecruiter, we are seeing that there are places where job growth is quite a bit slower. The white-collar sectors are still fairly sluggish, but healthcare is off the charts. Much faster hiring than before the pandemic, about 3 times the job growth that we saw pre-COVID. So that sector just seems to have an inexhaustible demand for workers. The skilled trades also are one area of tremendous strength.
Interesting. Are there any sectors or even groups getting left behind?
So in this report, we saw kind of a big decline in the employment rate for young Americans, for people under the age of 24. That's also where we saw the spike in unemployment. I was not expecting to see that because in the last few months, we actually saw an increase in employment rates for young Americans. And I was hoping that this data would confirm that we are off to a great start of the summer teen and new grad hiring season. Instead, it looks like it's a bit slow, and that could be because employers are uncertain and worried and putting big investments on ice and waiting for things to turn around before investing in the next generation of talent.
How can someone, a job seeker, use ZipRecruiter to their advantage?
So now's the time to use every tool that ZipRecruiter offers. Make a job profile, test your resume, make sure it's computer readable, sign up for email alerts so you're notified of jobs right away as soon as they're posted that match your skills and experience. Make yourself discoverable. Many employers that are seeking workers are actively recruiting people who haven't even applied to their jobs. So make yourself discoverable on ZipRecruiter by opting in to being in our resume database.
What are you seeing in terms of artificial intelligence trends?
So artificial intelligence has increased demand among employers for 2 kinds of skills. One, for very technical AI-related skills, but 2, for sort of entrepreneurial, creative people who can figure out how to leverage AI everywhere, in law, in products, in consumer protection, wherever you look.
Interesting. So is ZipRecruiter using AI in its own process of helping seekers, job seekers, find the right position?
Absolutely. So ZipRecruiter invested in AI long ago and is an AI-powered matching market that helps employers find the best candidates for their jobs and helps job seekers find the best jobs that match their skills. And then, of course, we're also helping employers now in this new economy find the AI skills that they need.
And what's been the return on that? I mean, how much more success have you noticed with the introduction and use of AI?
It's a very big lift. I mean, matching is sort of everything. It's made the whole labor market much, much, much more efficient, and that's why we've seen the labor market speed up. The share of workers who get their jobs very, very quickly, who got a response within 3 days when they applied, keeps growing. And as a result, most hired workers now were only unemployed for a very short while.
Interesting. So I know you talked about skilled workers being in demand. Anyone with highly technical skills and creativity when it comes to AI also in demand as well. Are there other skills that you think applicants should absolutely be promoting when they're looking to get themselves out there?
Yes, so right now the most in-demand soft skills are communication and collaboration and flexibility. Employers are also looking to see how you behave as a worker. They really want people with prior experience, and that means that young people should go out and get experience in internships and apprenticeships by freelancing any way they can, because employers are increasingly skeptical of the value of a degree.
What is the data indicating to you in terms of how long the jobs market will remain healthy?
So there are a lot of very strong tailwinds pushing this labor market forward. Strong real wage growth that is propping up the consumer and demand for labor. The fact that recession fears have largely faded. I mean, in 2022, everyone expected that there would be a recession in 2023. Bloomberg's recession prediction model said there was a 100% chance. 98% of U.S. CEOs thought there was one. Recession fears are now fading,
right.
And that is also allowing many companies to become more forward-looking.
Is the summer traditionally a busy hiring season?
It is the busiest hiring season. So from around April to August, that is when sort of peak hiring takes place. So if things have been soft and difficult for the last few months for a job seeker, I would say don't despair, don't get discouraged, keep at it.
Now, is that true for all industries or just for some of the more entertainment service-focused ones that we know people love to take advantage of in the summer months?
So actually in tech and in business services and in a wide range of industries and education, the summer is a major hiring season. It's a time when people often move because they want their kids to be in a new school at the start of the year. So this is really the time when hiring takes place in a very wide range of seasons, not just in summer seasonal retail opportunities.
All right, Julia Pollack joining us, Chief Economist at ZipRecruiter. Julia, thank you.
Thanks, Kristen.